Russia's mobilization announcement, the 5 biggest takeaways. Russia was forced to take action after showing a shocking lack of defense against Ukrainian counterattacks. Putin's response? It was something like, "We're sending an additional 300,000 troops to the battlefield." The announcement, however, elucidates additional information concerning the upcoming battle phase. Hey, welcome back to our channel, and we're going to talk about the important points to take away in this video. Shall we? Coming up first is, well, there is a considerable probability of a leader's removal from office when the war they are leading ends badly, especially if the commander is relatively dictatorial. However, investors have an incentive to increase their investment in the losing venture in the remote chance that things will eventually turn around. Gambling for resurrection is what political scientists term this trend. Putin's presidency is now inextricably linked to the invasion if it wasn't before. His position is vulnerable if Russia's defeated in the war. It's possible he'll pull through, but if he does, domestic politics in Russia will take on a completely different tone. Instead, he is betting that Russia will come out on top, making the mild difficulties he would have faced if he withdrew inconsequentially. It will be interesting to see if that works. Moving on to the next point, Russian annexation referendums in Ukraine. This is Russia's 2014 annexation plan for Crimea. The referendum has 2 interesting parts. First, it wasn't simply Luhansk and Donetsk. Russia fomented the Donbass protests in 2014 and recognized them as independent entities before the invasion. Putin skipped Kherson and Zaporizhia's middleman. Russia wants to incorporate the Donbass in the Crimean land bridge. Putin's attacking. Russia controls Luhansk on the front lines. It's missing Donetsk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. The Ukrainian counterattack has brought the front line near Luhansk's border. Speechwriters didn't care about details. Moving forward, the Ukrainian nukes. Another thread in Putin's war statements. Putin remarked on Victory Day in May that Kiev said it may get nuclear weapons. Again, low-level policymakers said this. Ukraine has neither the ability nor the plans to create nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons require uranium or plutonium. The former requires a centrifuge cascade enrichment facility. Chemical reprocessing facilities must remove plutonium from spent uranium fuel. The nuclear non-proliferation regime limits the spread of enrichment and reprocessing facilities in nuclear weapons. Ukraine has neither, thus this is a success. Kiev imports nuclear fuel from overseas partners. Before the hostilities, Russia was Ukraine's supplier. Imported nuclear fuel isn't suited for nukes. Ukraine's VVER reactors use 2.4% uranium-235. The rest is uranium-238. Ukraine can't build a nuclear bomb without an enrichment facility. So coming up to our next point, many of Putin's comments have an element of truthiness. Without Western help, Ukraine would have undoubtedly negotiated a solution on Russia's terms. This was the control line. By getting external armament, Ukraine bets on war. Ukraine continues to fight because it is in the country's best interest, giving the military balance. Putin's language portrays the West as warmongers with a cunning strategy to destroy Russia. Again, Russians should support the attack on Ukraine. And the final point. Putin's address finished by proclaiming that if there is a threat to the territorial integrity of our nation, we will undoubtedly make use of all weapon systems accessible to us. Much of this is in the Cold War's mutually assured destruction, and the Soviet Union threatens to bomb the United States if the U.S. nukes the Soviet Union. We had decades of strained calm because no one wanted to be nuked. Putin wants to expand his nuclear foothold to all of Russia. Will Russia use nuclear weapons if Ukraine attacks? Political scholars doubt nuclear weapons can coerce or discourage far-flung opponents. The worldwide backlash costs are too expensive. Putin's nuclear warning finished with, "This is no bluff." The Western media's reaction has been terrible. He didn't bluff. So long, true. It's his words. No idea if true, but Western intelligence will investigate. If the U.S. nuked Moscow, Putin would send a receipt to Washington, D.C. Beyond Moscow, his line is debatable. Any smart foreign relations expert shouldn't modify their opinions based on Putin's words. It's cheap talk. Opposing states can't verify these proclamations, and there's no penalty for lying. It offers no persuasive information. Hey, that's going to do it for today's video. We'll be right back with another one soon, so please hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to our channel to get the latest notifications.